What's up guys, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Today we will be looking at Python and more specifically args and kwargs within Python. So we'll be looking at what it is, what does it stand for, why is it useful, and why you should use it. So let's jump right in and check it out. So let's take a look at args and kwargs. So what does args and kwargs actually stand for? So basically args stands for arguments and kwarg stands for keyword arguments. Keyword arguments. And so with args and kwargs, what we can do is we could pass multiple parameters or arguments into a function. So let's look at a typical function first. Let's just call the function func, and we'll pass in 2 parameters. And we'll print both of those inside the function. So let's call the function right here with the values 1 and 2. And I'll call the script. And basically it does what we expected it to do. We printed out 1 and 2 within the function. But let's see if we give it 3 positional arguments, and we'll give it 1, 2, and 3. So in this case, there's a type error. So the thing is, this function takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Now let's try to find a way to see if we could give in how many parameters we want, and the function will still be able to handle it. And that's where args comes in. So syntax for args is asterisk and then args. And let's see what happens if we print args out. So basically, it prints out all the positional arguments, and in such a format that it's a tuple. So basically, the same arguments you pass in will be, in this case, will be printed out in a tuple format. So let's see if we give it one more. So we'll call that, and it's able to handle it. So it printed out 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's exactly the things that we passed in. So this is a way that we can make sure a function is able to basically consume all the arguments we give it with the help of args. Now let's look at kwargs. Now the way kwarg works is you need to give a double asterisk, and let's print that out to see what happens. Let's call the function, or let's call the script, and the function says there's an error, and the function takes 0 positional arguments before we're given. So the thing is, kwargs doesn't wait for positional arguments, but keyword arguments. So that's the difference. And since these are positionals, since we just passed it in one after another, we need to give them a keyword in front of it. So in this case, the key will be A. Let's call this one, the key for this one B, C, and D. Now let's run the function, and in this case it prints it out in a dictionary format, and the keys correspond to the keywords we gave, and then the values are the actual values of the parameters or the arguments that we passed in. So that's the difference between args and kwargs. And we could actually use them together. So if we want to give in keyword arguments and also positional arguments, let's try that. Let's just say cat and dog. Let's run this. And so yeah, it runs correctly. It prints out args in the tuple format that we've seen before, and kwargs the same exact way in a dictionary. So one thing to note is positional arguments have to come first. So let's say if we want to add something at the end, let's say another animal, fish, this will not work. So as you can see, this will not work. It says a syntax error positional argument follows keyword arguments. We cannot have that. So we always have to have positional arguments first, and then keyword arguments second. Another thing that we could talk about is the fact that args and kwargs are actually not keywords. In Python, this could be anything. The main thing is that it has to have an asterisk for args and a double asterisk for kwargs. The reason we use args and kwargs is because this is a convention, and it fits what it needs. So this is arguments and this is keyword arguments, but we could actually just call this thing 1, thing 2, and it will still work the same exact way. Oops. Now let's run this. Actually, let me clear the terminal first. So it runs perfectly this way as well. So just remember, args and kwargs are actually convention, but please follow them. This keeps your code clean, and other developers will understand it, and they know that these are arguments and positional arguments and keyword arguments passed in to the parameter. So I hope you guys learned something new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.